Welcome to the Corn Report. Today is the Labor Day edition. It's getting a little wet around here. It's September 7th, 2020, and it's a very special day. You know how I always talk about Farmer Bill? Well, today we have Farmer Bill Schroeder to help us estimate.
Hi guys.
How you doing, Bill?
Good.
Good. I'm glad that you could come. Everybody has been saying they wanted to see Farmer Bill on the Corn Report, so thanks. And today I get a lot of my experience and knowledge through Farmer Bill. He's a great progressive farmer. And today we're going to learn a little bit about how to estimate the yield today, right?
Yep.
So why don't you walk us through this, literally walk us through this.
Okay.
And how do you do this?
So we're going to do a stand count.
Okay.
First thing you do, we've already measured off 17.5 feet. That represents an acre. As you'll see, marked with 2 water bottles on our left and right. So we did the population, and the population came out to 34,000. So there's 34,000 population here, harvestable ears. And then we went in and we pulled what we call an average size ear, and we're going to try to figure out what we got here as far as an estimated yield. So we've counted this out. This is 16 around. It's easily 34 long, probably could even stretch it into 36, 37, but we're going to use 34 long. So we're going to take our calculator, which we've already done. We take 16.
Okay.
We take our 34 long.
Okay.
And then we multiply it by our population of 34.
And we walk this off.
Yep,
So,
we counted harvestable ears.
okay, and that is from how many feet?
17.5 feet.
17.5 feet.
Yep.
Okay.
And that represents an acre and a 30-inch row. So then we open this ear up, and we're looking to see
Ooh, look how big those are.
the size of the kernels. These are huge.
They look
the
like
depth of these
chiclets.
kernels are monsters. So if they were real small kernels, maybe on a drought year, you divide by 90. But these are big, so we're going to call these 80. We're going to divide by 80. That'll give us a pretty.
So is that just a
That's a formula. That's a formula
okay.
used. We've even been in some fields with extremely black soils. Probably ought to be using 75. These are just monster kernels this
Oh, that
year.
looks good.
We've had a pretty almost perfect growing season, except for August was a little dry. We ran that number, come out to about 224 bushel to the acre.
224 bushels. I remember when I started in 97, if you got 150 bushels an acre, you're doing swell.
Yep.
And now it's 220.
Yep.
Look at that. I mean, they would just love to get 220 in the past.
Absolutely. And this is, I would say, average soil type. So this is, I think we're going to have pretty good crops. Maybe the best we've had here in a long time.
Oh, man. This is just fantastic. It's nice to hear that we're having good crops. How about that, the commodity prices right now?
Commodity prices have moved up a little bit.
Good.
There's some disaster in Iowa, and
that's
which
not
we don't
good,
wish
though.
that on them, but
No.
they had some disasters. The hot, dry weather has taken some of the top end off the yield, so they're starting to play that into it. We're still probably about 20% lower on our prices than where we really need to be. But another thing we'll talk about here is when this corn's going to black layer. Black layer, we call that about 33%.
And that's when the corn's done growing, right?
When done growing and the kernels are mature, you'll get a black tip out here on the end. We're not quite there.
So it's
this
still-
milk line has
Yeah.
moved down. Probably 25 to 30% of the milk's left in the kernel. I'm guessing less than 7 days, this will black layer and be ready for harvest.
Okay, so we're right there.
10 days, 2 weeks. You know, a lot of guys like to start harvest around 25%.
So what's the moisture level right now in this corn?
I think this, I'd say this corn is close to 38, 40%. That's making a guess. When it black layers, it'll be 32, 33.
And then-
that's probably going to happen in 5 to 7 days, depending on the temperatures.
And when you sell the corn, what do you want the percentage to be?
You want to store and you want to deliver that corn at 14% moisture.
14
to 15. 15 is
Yeah.
perfect. We dry it. We're going to store it in the summer. Take it into July, August for the market. We want to be a little drier so it keeps better. So 14 is where we want to be.
Great.
But the optimum moisture would be 15 dried corn.
Well, Bill, it was an honor for you to join the last Corn Report of the year. I appreciate it very much. I'll wash my hands after this during COVID. So live from Monticello, Indiana, especially with our special guest, Bill Schroeder. This has been the Corn Report.